A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I just read you the Second Amendment. Have you ever been in a situation in which this amendment came into play? In other words, have you ever needed the right to bear arms? Let's elaborate on this a little more. The right, a privilege we have as American citizens, to bear arms, to protect yourself to protect yourself from the harm of another person. In some cases, the ability to use weapons due to the lack of self-defense skills to keep thyself from being harmed. This amendment, written by our forefathers, is giving us the opportunity to use any type of weapon to keep ourselves and our loved ones and community safe. Keep this amendment in mind throughout the presentation. When society thinks of guns, we think of them as being a complete threat to us all. We believe that a single gun can kill any human being, if used correctly. But what reality is saying is that it's not the gun committing the crime. It's the person. A gun alone cannot kill someone. The human is the enabler. So what if we took guns away? Would that solve this complication? No. Taking guns away from humanity will not solve anything. The government is telling us that we are in need of another law. But why create another law for a criminal to break? Think about it. A law for gun control has not been passed, and criminals go to extreme lengths to get their hands on the weakest gun they can find. Drugs are sold, things are stolen, deals are made, just so people can find the money to buy a gun. And if we take this component of life away, it only makes the situation worse. I know that when my mom takes something away from me that I really wanted, I want it even more once it's gone. If you took a gun away from a serial killer or a gang member on the street, they would go to even worse limits to get the gun because the item itself would be really rare. And if we took guns away from the law-abiding citizens, they wouldn't be able to have the freedom they want, provided for them in the Second Amendment. So why take away an object if it creates more crime and craving than it did initially and creates more crime from criminals? I don't know about you, but this doesn't make any sense to me. In this photo that I drew, the bullet casings all have different scenarios on them of when a gun would come in handy or even protect people in your family. An example of one that I wrote was helped provide hope for a threatened family. Now what about hunting guns? It's not a crime to hunt, so why be worried about it? Do you know how long it takes to get a hunting permit? You must choose which license you want, what animal you're hunting, the duration of the hunting period, and pay multiple fees. Extending this process will be extremely long and not worth it. Hunting animals is not half the crime murder is. Hunting is an individual right that has no logical reasoning to be taken away. If we make the process of getting a hunting gun and hunting permit, hunting license too, people and hunters will want to hunt more and more to prove a point that hunting is not a crime. And I can guarantee you that this extension to getting a hunting license will not make any hunter in the U.S. stop hunting. As you know, there have been a number of shootings in schools and in the community that are not at all comprehensible to any human being. Now, we all remember the Sandy Hook shooting. It was horrific. Adam Lanza was the alleged shooter. He was diagnosed with Asperger's and autism, according to many dependable websites. Asperger's is a disability that creates lack of common skills in the human brain. Skills have not yet developed in their brain. Autism is a disability that creates struggle with interactive skills and causes pretend play. These are all severe symptoms that Adam Lanza had to deal with throughout his life, and medications are the solution that show vast improvement in the human brain. Yet Adam Lanza did not take his prescribed medications. This leads to the disability becoming worse than it is on its own. Apparently, Adam Lanza did not take his medications for long periods of time. This is what drove him to pull the trigger. Now, no human being has any logical reasoning to kill children in an elementary school. This leads us to the conclusion that Adam Lanza's mental disabilities went out of control due to the lack of medication use, causing him to walk into Sandy Hook and pull the trigger. This knowledge suggests that the government should keep watch on who is buying guns, but most certainly not ban them. We are the people, and we have individual rights that are just the building block to a good nation. And owning a gun for self-protection and safety, hunting wild animals, and fighting against crime are all rights that we've obtained for many years. So ask yourself, if my family was in danger, Would I want to defend or be defenseless? Thank you.